Saturday, March the 30th, 8:36 a.m. 2024. The Avenge X air rifle. Well, boys and girls, I took that thing off. Now, this is the bottle version, okay? And I took that thing off. I'll probably never use that again on this air rifle. Alright? You see what I've done there? Now, that's a piece of leather right in there. It's around that shroud, and I'll take this, turn this camera off a minute and turn this gun up on its side. I put two clamps together, but I may try to find one clamp, paint it black, and put it back on there. Now, I think this was a 56mm objective, Butler Creek, and I cut it. That's what's under that clamp on top of that scope, so I've not marred my scope. This is an EPL4 Arkin scope. It is longer. Remember, a longer scope, gets me out here farther from here, so I get more rigidity. Okay. Now, there is pressure on that, but it's not, I've done shot this gun. You'll see some of the groups. I don't see anything stands out shooting this gun. The negative. Like I said, this was a Butler Creek. I cut it off, trimmed it, and cut that thing right there out of it, so it sets up on top of that scope nicely. Let me turn this camera off. Camera back on. So you see what I've done there. That leather fit under there. Before I put that clamp on, it fit under there nice and snug. And at 40 yards, this thing was 41 yards when I got done. This thing was on paper. A little small piece of paper, about 12 by 12 inches. It was still on the paper nicely. I did have to do some scope adjustment, okay? But that barrel band will probably never go back on this gun. Now, I've got the other model that's got the tube on it, and I may play with it. You Avenge X owners, I just shared data, okay? I bought the first model air rifle that FX ever made. I think I bought it in 2000. So there you go. You might want to try that. I've got rigidity, boys. You see that? See, that barrel band don't even fit on here tight in the first place. It's on there loose to damn begin with. Plus, it's hooked to your shroud. It's hooked to the barrel, so the shroud's being hooked to the bottle, and the bottle's being hooked to this. Now, believe it or not, and you may not believe this, you push down on this barrel right here, there's flex in this stock. You can see that scope right there track when I do that. That's a good thing. I'd rather that shrouded barrel be tracking with my scope than tracking with that bottle or tracking with this stock. Alright, so there you go. I'm going to take you over here at this target, a laser 53, let you look at it, okay? I'm almost out of ammunition here. 18.13 grain pellets. But I think I may start shooting this gun with a hammer spring in 2 turns with about a 2,000 reg set. Based on what I've seen this morning. Alright. Okay, now this paper does tear some, okay? Okay, right there's a group. Right there. Now these are 1-inch squares on this paper, so you get a see. Now remember, the paper tears a little. That's one. Okay, right there's another. Okay, now right here is another. Now remember, I think I had the hammer spring out on this one. Okay, there's a group right there shot. 5 shots. Okay. Right there's a group shot 3 shots. See it right there? Okay, here's another group right here. See that one? Okay, right there's another group. I'm going to try to stick with 2 turns in on that hammer spring. Okay. Now some of these other shots on this paper, remember I had to adjust the scope. This thing was still on the paper after I put that band on, by the way. Alright. You know, you all just do whatever you think. You know, sharpshooter's not telling you to do a damn thing. Okay, now I'm running a little low on ammo, but I've got a whole lot more coming. You'll see me doing some more tests with this. But I don't see anything based on shooting this gun with a barrel band on it versus the sharpshooter way. I don't see anything that looks bad. Okay. Now it wasn't perfect conditions with me shooting. Alright. Now I'm going to say something else here too. You know, the old boys at FX are not fools. Dual regulators on an air rifle. Well, they do that for a reason. And it may make it easier on the regulators, but that ain't the only reason they do that, I don't think. What I mean by that, a dual regulator gun is probably going to be more accurate across the pressure range versus a single regulator. Only makes sense to me, you know, but I'm not an engineer. I would have made a good one, I think. That's going to conclude the video. If you've got any questions you want to post in this video, feel free. With more testing, you know. Won't take much more testing based on what I seen this morning, though.